Today, from America's breadbasket, we bring you a monster truck feast. The Equalizer, Carolina Crusher, and King Crunch prepare to devour the rest of the field in Bowling Green, Ohio, next. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the all-stars of TNT's Monster Trucks Challenge. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Overcast skies and cool conditions will greet race fans at the Wood County Fairgrounds in Bowling Green, Ohio. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Lee alongside Rich Hooser. And, Rich, we had some rain this morning. What will that do to track conditions?
Track conditions will be a little slick. Of course, being on top of the cars with a little mud on your tires, it's going to cause some problems. But these guys have a lot of room to work with here tonight, so we're going to see some fast races tonight. The third member of the broadcast team is Army Armstrong. He'll be along momentarily. We'll take this break and then come back for racing action from Bowling Green, Ohio. We are in northwestern Ohio, the Wood County Fairgrounds in Bowling Green, Ohio. We have had rain in the area, but right now partly cloudy skies, very windy, but a racing facility these drivers really enjoy. Very wide, a lot of runoff area, a very safe race facility. As we take you back now to qualifying a bit earlier this evening, Dennis Anderson in the Gravedigger against Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher, and Gary Porter would turn in the fastest lap in qualification, a 7.26. And the cars and the ramps are about perfect for these guys. It's exactly what they want. As you can tell, they're almost clearing that last set of cars, but the first set of cars is real smooth. Look at this. Now, the ground is a little wet, but it's tacky, so they're getting a lot of traction. Now, Anderson got a little out of shape over there, but Porter in that right lane, a 7.26, and that's the fastest so far. So he will have a bye run in the first round matchups. Bigfoot will go against King Kong, and King Crunch will go against Mopar Magic. Other action from first round competition will include Gravedigger and Nightlife, the Buffalo Tremor against Wild Hare, Equalizer and Playing for Keeps, and No Problem will take on Clydesdale. 13 monster trucks ready to battle here at the Wood County Fairgrounds in Bowling Green, Ohio. Here's a look at King Kong, the old King Kong. Right, Steve Kane out of Killeen, Texas is driving. Now, Steve Dane owns this truck, and he also owns Awesome Kong. Now, the reason he's driving this truck is they're rebuilding the old Awesome Kong and getting it up to date. Well, here's John Pyatt in Bigfoot out of St. Louis, Missouri. This is first round action, King Kong and Bigfoot. And it looks like King Kong, look at that. He actually cleared the entire second row of cars. He did an excellent job, and that old truck has got a new janky engine in it, and it is running very, very strong. Not a miss in it at all. He just overpowered Bigfoot and just blew his doors up. Look at the truck fly, and like he said, just barely clipped that last car. Is this a surprise? This is a surprise for that truck because it has not been on the circuit for quite some time. Here's Army.
Well, there's no love lost in monster trucks, especially between two camps, Jeff Dane's camp and Bob Chandler's camp. You just scored a major upset in this sport, and I know it's got to be tickling you to death right now.
Yeah, anytime you go out there and beat Bigfoot, you know, you're doing something pretty good.
And you just flat beat him. I mean, he had a good run. You had a better run. It looked great.
Yeah, you know, I broke my drive shaft and everything last night, so in qualifying, you know, I took it kind of easy, and I really didn't want to race him first round, but, you know, that's the way it comes up, you know, when you qualify like that.
And as first round competition continues, here's Gary Wiggins out of North Carolina in the Mopar Magic, and he goes up against Scott Stevens in the Auto Value King Crunch out of Woodlands, Texas. And a good hole shot for Scott Stevens, and he pulls out the victory here in the first round.
Gary Wiggins' truck's been running real good lately. He's done some work on it over the last year or so, and he's really come a long way. The truck has not run better than it's been running this weekend. But going up against Scott Stevens and King Crunch, he's a very good competitor, and he's hard to beat.
Well, of course, here with a 13-truck
race format, the fastest loser from round one will advance to the second round. So despite losing, it's very important to have a good run. And always a popular competitor from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, the Gravedigger, the 1950 Chevy panel wagon with the engine behind the driver in the cockpit is Dennis Anderson.
Now, Dennis likes having that engine back there that gives him a little bit of weight distribution, and he likes to keep his front end up just a little bit.
And here is nightlife out of Grand Island, Nebraska. This is Dave Wyzorek, the 1990 Chevy Sports Side, a 427 cubic inch blown and injected running on alcohol.
A slow start for Anderson, but he picks up the pace halfway through, Gary.
Well, the Gravedigger takes the victory. He will advance to round two. We have to see now how fast that run was for Dave Wyzorek because, again, the fastest loser from round one will advance, and so far, that is Bigfoot.
And we're going to take another look at Anderson's run here on the replay. He's going to be coming straight at you. You'll be able to see them red headlights, a trademark of Anderson's Gravedigger. And watch after he hits that first set of cars, he's on the ground, no air, and he can able to put all the power to the truck and get over that last set of cars with keeping it under control, which is totally unusual for Anderson.
As you can see how tacky that racetrack is because of the afternoon rain here in Ohio. Now we take a look at Johnny K, John Kwasniewski, and the Buffalo Tremor out of the state of New York.
Now, John's been having problems with this engine all day. He had to switch from alcohol to gas because of a cubic inch limit that these vehicles are running. Now, Marvin Smith there in Wild Hare's got a lot of horsepower, so let's see what happens. Right off the bat, Buffalo Tremor's having big-time problems with that truck. It's not running very good, Gary.
But I tell you what, looking from up topside, it would appear that there was a red light there in the lane of Wild Hare. So Marvin Smith may get disqualified. He got a great hole shot, but he may have got a hole shot too early. So despite the problems with the engine in the Buffalo Tremor, the Tremor may advance. There may be a disqualification. Let's go down to Rich.
Marvin, you won that last round, but did you find out you red lighted?
Yeah, I just found that out. I guess a little too quick on the trigger.
Do you think it has anything to do with this new engine going and not being used to it yet?
Well, what it is, when you mash the gas, you're gone, so I possibly could have because when I tapped it, I was just gone. I thought I saw the light change, but apparently not.
Well, the fans bundle up here. Unseasonably cool weather in northern Ohio during the summer months as we take a look at Jesse Berge and playing for keeps a brand new pickup truck at GMC against the Chevrolet Equalizer of Greg Holbrook.
Now, Greg might have just a little bit of an advantage here since this is the first weekend out with Jesse's truck, and he's not sure how this truck is going to handle. He did a great job, but he couldn't quite keep up with the Equalizer, and he gets a little out of sync.
Hang on, Jesse!
Oh, he did a great job of driving, Gary.
He kept his foot in it to prevent that truck from rolling on over.
Exactly, and that's why these guys love all that shutdown area down there. Now, you watch, Equalizer had a good run, Jesse had a good run, but right here he took a bad hop, and like I said earlier, he's not sure how this truck's going to handle. Well, he just found out what could happen, and he did a great job of keeping it under control.
Well, he went to school that time and did indeed learn something about that race truck.
And as you see here, here's a guy that's been driving this truck for quite some time, and you can tell he keeps it under control, no bounce whatsoever.
Well, talk about a guy who had some trouble keeping it under control in the shutoff area. This is John Moore and no problem. We go back now to qualifying. He is in the far lane in that flip-top Ford Bronco. A good ride, but look what happens when he tries to slow her down.
And, of course, the shutdown area plays a big part here, Gary. They have a lot of room, and he's got a lot of room for mistakes, but he just takes a little bit of a slide in the wet grass.
Yeah, but he took 2 counties to get that thing shut down. All right, no problem against Bennett Clark in the pink Clydesdale Chevrolet against Ford. They are staged here at Bowling Green, Ohio, the Wood County Fairgrounds. We watch for the green. There it is. And a problem with Clydesdale.
I'm not sure what happened to Clydesdale. He's still moving, but John Moore don't know that, and he just keeps on going, keeps it full throttle, and does a great job.
So we will see the Ford Bronco in the quarterfinals here at the Wood County Fairgrounds. A big thumbs up from the victor. Some applause from a young fan here in Bowling Green, Ohio. We have more coming your way. It is a cool, overcast night in northern Ohio. With Rich Hoosier and Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee at the Wood County Fairgrounds here in Bowling Green, ready for quarterfinal action with the Carolina Crusher taking on King Kong. No problem then. We'll face King Crunch. Then it's Bigfoot, the fast loser, against the Gravedigger, and the Buffalo Tremor against Equalizer. Quarterfinal action as we take a look at Gary Porter out of North Carolina in the Carolina Crusher. And King Kong, this perhaps a surprise that Steve Kane with the older model truck has advanced this far.
He's been doing so good tonight. This is going to be a very close race.
As they are staged, there is the green light. The competition begins in quarterfinal action.
And Kong takes it, Gary, and I am really kind of surprised because Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher usually does excellent on these long courses, but King Kong is just running exceptionally well. He keeps it down on the ground, not a lot of air at that first set, and then over the finish line with no problems at all. A little bit of smoke coming out, but I don't think he's got any problems.
I'll tell you what, you're looking back at the truck. It's running good, it's sounding good, but there's something coming out of the right side of that block. What is it?
Well, what I think it is, Army, is the oil dipstick keeps coming out, and it keeps blowing water.
Okay, other than that, everything's go?
Oh, yeah, truck's running fine.
We're down to 4. You're one of them. We'll see you in that next round.
All right, thank you, Army.
Okay, Gary, just to correct him, he's got oil coming out and not water. And Army's going to be talking to Scott Stevens here on the radio.
Scott Stevens, this is Army Armstrong. This board's looking awfully tough, and he's in the lane that he loves. What are you going to do to get by him?
We definitely can't take him for granted, that's for sure. John Moore's real tough all the time.
So indeed, John Moore is having a good evening in the Ford Bronco. The no problem. He goes up against the auto value King Crunch and Scott Stevens.
My, Gary, unbelievable! John Moore just blew away King Crunch. This is unbelievable.
Would you call this an upset, Rich?
I would call this definitely an upset. Now, I don't know if Scott had some problems or if he just didn't think John was going to run that hard, but look how aggressive he is here, almost clearing all the cars. An excellent run for that Bronco.
John Moore, that had to be one of the best races you've ever run.
Felt good.
You're going against King Kong in the next round. 2 bad boy Fords. What's going through your mind on it?
I'll have to go back, get ready for it, tighten a couple bolts. I think we can do it.
Well, as John Moore has surprised a few folks, no one is ever surprised by the success of these 2 trucks. Bigfoot with John Pyatt and Dennis Anderson in the Gravedigger. A Chevrolet panel truck against the Ford pickup. John Pyatt gets a good jump, the whole shot, and he'll take the victory.
He did a great job. That was probably his best run all night. He was having a little problems with the engine popping earlier, but he seemed to have that problem fixed because Dennis starting off slow, but he usually had that power about by now. But John just kept on going to take a good win against Anderson.
Well, the clouds are starting to dissipate, giving us a beautiful sunset here in northern Ohio as the competition continues. We look at Greg Holbrook out of Lebanon, Tennessee, an Equalizer, and John Kwasniewski and Buffalo Tremor.
Now, John's still having problems with that engine from going alcohol to gas. The engine just does not want to accept that gas, and he's having problems with the way it's running.
He gets off to a big deficit early, and Holbrook takes the victory. So young Greg Holbrook will advance to the Final 4.
Now, Greg did an excellent job of driving here. He took the win, but he didn't drive the truck real hard. He knew that Kwasniewski was going to have problems, so he stayed on the ground. As you see here, not a whole lot of air, but he does do a great job. He's got a lot of room in the shutdown area, and he wins it.
And Equalizer will be in the Final 4. Here's a young fan. He likes Bigfoot. Bigfoot will be there along with King Kong, and no problem. The Final 4 shootout coming up from Bowling Green, Ohio. Bowling Green, Ohio, home of the National Tractor Pulling Championships, but tonight we feature the Monster Trucks. And we had some surprises in the quarterfinals with King Kong knocking out the Carolina Crusher and No Problem also winning. Bigfoot, a victor over Gravedigger. Equalizer beating the Buffalo Tremor. So now, the semifinals. One surprise, a Ford with a Chevrolet power plant, King Kong, Steve Kane in the cockpit. Earlier in the first round, he had a good ride. He actually knocked out Bigfoot. Bigfoot, the fast loser, was able to come back in round 2 competition, but Kong took the victory. Then in second round competition, another surprise as he knocked out a crowd favorite, the Carolina Crusher with Gary Porter.
He's been doing a great job all night long, and all he's got to do is 2 more races.
So one surprise in the Ford pickup truck will be against a pleasant surprise for Ford fans. That's the Ford Bronco, No Problem. John Moore's had a great weekend.
Indeed he has, Gary. He's been surprising me all weekend, and let's see if he can upset Kong.
Well, a track record would have to favor King Kong, and Kong takes the victory, but still I think it's a surprise that Kong will find himself in the championship.
He did, and he deserved it. He did a great job all night long. He got the whole shot on No Problem, and he's already off the set of cars before he is, and then as soon as he got on the ground, hey, history was made. There's no way that John Moore could have caught him.
Well, it's going to be short and sweet. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough finals. I'm just going to go out there and just do the same thing I've been doing all night. Just go out there and hold it wide open.
That's what you're doing, just driving full boogaloo.
That truck won't do no more, Army.
I've been around motorsports a lot of years, but that's a new term on me, Army. Full boogaloo. Well, then here's a guy that drives full boogaloo, John Pyatt from St. Louis in Bigfoot, and his opposition, Greg Holbrook in Equalizer. They battle for the right to face King Kong in the finals here in Bowling Green, Ohio. A good close, but look how close it was at the finish line.
Oh, I'll tell you, Gary, Bigfoot was actually catching up to Equalizer in midair over the second set of cars. Watch here in the replay, Equalizer's got a good gap in between them, but John pours it on, and right there, oh, not even a half a truck length difference. Unbelievable.
But the Chevrolet, the Equalizer of Greg Holbrook, will go up against King Kong, the Ford with Chevrolet power, mind you, in the championships here at the Wood County Fairgrounds in Bowling Green, Ohio. So Greg Holbrook headed back to the starting line for the championship shootout. Here's Army.
Well, when it went down to the final 2 in Bowling Green, Ohio, it was between a truck out of Texas that wasn't even supposed to be here. It's been sitting on a shelf for about 3 years. They brought it out just to see what was going to happen. He's quick qualifier, quick time. He's going to be going into the right lane. But who does he go up against? The birthday boy. Holbrook is trying to hold on with the Equalizer to be the first truck to win the World Championship 2 years in a row. Let's see if his 19-year-old birthday boy can do it tonight. It'd be a great gift, wouldn't it?
So the fans are ready for the final shootout here in Bowling Green, Ohio. Let's go down and see if Steve Kane thinks he's ready to wreck the birthday bash of Greg Holbrook.
Steve, I've seen you do a little bit of work on the engine there. Any problems for the final round?
No, we just had a little bit of heating problem there. My water pump come unhooked, you know, for the power supply, so it come unhooked there, and I had to fix that, and my power steering belt was a little loose. But other than that, we good to go.
Well, Chevrolet fans certainly cannot lose this evening. Both these monster trucks are powered by Chevrolets. The Ford fans, of course, will have the Kong to cheer for because that has the Ford body style. So it's King Kong, Steve Kane, and young 19-year-old Greg Holbrook celebrating his birthday, hopefully with a victory here this evening, driving the defending national championship truck, Equalizer. They are staging here at the Wood County Fairgrounds in Bowling Green, Ohio. We are ready for the championship race. Virtually side by side, Kong takes it.
Boy, both trucks were just pouring on the power. Did you see Kong? He didn't hit a car. He hit that first ramp on that second set of cars and cleared them. He had to be doing at least 60 miles an hour.
We take a look again. Here comes that second approach ramp, and look at him clear those cars. And look how much room it takes Steve Kane to slow down in the shutoff area.
As you can see, he's got a little bit of oil coming off that right side, and you can see how much he's pressing that vehicle. He's giving it all it's got and does a great job.
And as you heard Army say, they literally brought this truck off the shelf to compete. It wasn't supposed to be here. Here's a look at Greg Holbrook, the 19-year-old coming right at you. He takes second place here in Bowling Green, Ohio. And here's Army Armstrong with your winner.
Well, Steve Kane, congratulations. You took a truck that wasn't even supposed to be here, and you win with it.
Yeah, the truck's running real good tonight. I feel that I would have done it last week if the drive shafts and everything would have stayed in there, but that's old stuff and old news by now, but the truck run real good tonight.
You did a good job of driving it, too. We got to give credit where credit's due. Let me get this youngster in here real quick. 19 years old. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Nothing to be ashamed of. This guy, this was his night.
Yeah, his truck was just working real good on this track. Our transmission went out that run.
I'll tell you what, both of you guys got a lot to be proud of. You're going to make a good old phone call back to Texas, and they're going to be doing the old Texas two-step in your favor tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, Army.
And we add our congratulations to Steve Kane for his victory here at the Wood County Fairgrounds in Bowling Green, Ohio. For Rich Huser and Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. And now, here's news about an exciting new release from Diamond P Sports. It's time to shake, battle, and roll. Call 1-800-453-2800 for 70 minutes of awesome air-grabbing rooster tail spring action from the worlds of monster truck racing, truck and tractor pulling, and mud bogging. Relive the great moments of thrilling side-by-side monster truck racing. Feel the ground shake from the raw power of truck and tractor pulling. And get down and dirty as the best mud racers battle the slime for the fastest time. All this incredible action on one video cassette just by calling 1-800-453-2800. That's 1-800-453-2800. Strap up for a ride on the wild side. It's time to shake, battle, and roll.